How to make homemade brandy. Making homemade brandy is the perfect way to warm yourself with the flavors and scents of summer all year long. Brandy is created by distilling wine, which can be made at home using any type of fruit. After the fruit has fermented, the liquid is distilled twice to produce a strong, clear spirit with the essence of peaches, plums, pears, or apples. To learn how to make this delicious concoction in your own kitchen, see Step 1. Making the wine. Choose the fruit you want to use. Traditionally, making brandy at home was a way to capture and preserve the flavors and fragrances of summer and fall fruits. Pears, apples, grapes, peaches or plums were gathered, processed into wine, then distilled into fruit brandies. If you want to make your own wine, you'll need to gather your fruit and start the fermentation process at least a month before you distill it to make brandy. If you prefer to start distilling right away, purchase a few liters of fruit wine and skip to the next section. Wait until the fruit you want to use is in season, and harvest at the peak of ripeness. For this recipe, you'll need about 3 quarts of fruit, which will yield enough wine to make a small batch of brandy. Harvest and ferment more fruit if you want more brandy. Commercial brandy is usually made from grape juice or crushed grape skins. The resulting distillate is harsh in taste, so it's aged in oak barrels to take off the edge. Wait until the fruit you want to use is in season, and harvest at the peak of ripeness. For this recipe, you'll need about 3 quarts of fruit, which will yield enough wine to make a small batch of brandy. Harvest and ferment more fruit if you want more brandy. Commercial brandy is usually made from grape juice or crushed grape skins. The resulting distillate is harsh in taste, so it's aged in oak barrels to take off the edge. 1. Brandy made from fruit other than grapes is more suited to making at home, since it doesn't require oak barrel aging. Process the fruit. Wash it thoroughly, then cut it into slices. There's no need to peel the fruit, but you should remove pits for this recipe. Mash the fruit in a stone crock or glass jar. Place the fruit in the jar, then use a potato masher or another instrument to mash it down. This will help the fermentation process go more quickly. If you're using berries, which are lower in sugar than other types of fruit, you'll need to add sugar. Line the bottom of the crock with sugar, then add a layer of fruit. Add more sugar, and continue layering until the fruit and sugar have been used up. Use a stone crock large enough to accommodate all of the fruit with a few inches to spare, since the mixture will bubble up during the fermenting process. If you don't have a stone crock, you can use a glass bowl or another thick, heavy container. It should be made of glass or ceramic, not wood or metal. Add yeast and water. Dissolve 6 teaspoons of dry yeast in a cup of warm water. Use active dry yeast, not instant yeast, found at any grocery store. Pour the yeast mixture over the fruit and sugar mixture. Add 6 cups of cold water. Place the crock on a tray and cover with a plate. The liquid inside will begin to bubble up during the fermenting process, so you'll need the tray to catch any overflow. Leave the mixture in a cool place for a week. Stir the mixture once a week for 4 weeks. Uncover the crock and use a clean, long-handled spoon to stir it thoroughly, then place the cover on top. Each week the alcohol content will increase. Bottle the wine. At the end of 4 weeks, pour the wine into glass bottles and cover tightly. You can store the wine for several months to deepen the flavor.